Hi, this is Noah with ICI, and this is the installation video for the ICI Alumilite side steps. Today's application is going to be for the 2015 to 2022 Ford F-150. It also fits the 2017 to 2022 Ford Super Duty F-250, F-350, F-450, and F-550, and also the 2017 to 2021 Ford Raptor. Constructed with reinforced 5052 aluminum, the ICI Alumilite side steps will not rust, and because they're reinforced, their strength is comparable to the steel counterparts out there on the market right now. At the end of the day, the ICI Alumilite steps do their job, and they make it much easier for you, your wife, your girlfriend, your kids, and family to get in and out of your vehicle. Designed to be a single-person install, all the brackets and hardware is included, and you only need a couple tools to finish the job. Let's go ahead and show you guys how to do the install. Alright guys, so we went ahead and laid out the driver's side hardware, brackets and bar and hoop steps, and we separated it from the passenger side. We recommend starting with one side at a time and then finishing up on the opposite side. To tell the difference between the bars and which one is the driver's side and passenger side, you'll notice that on the front edge of each bar, a slight contour going down. This contour needs to be pointing towards the front tire of the truck. And so with that said, this is the driver's side bar. Additionally, you got the hoop steps here. The hoop steps are bolt-on, removable. They can go on either passenger or driver's side. They can also be replaced down the road. We also have 3 brackets per side. The brackets do look similar, and on each side they're the same bracket. But the difference between the driver's side brackets and the passenger side brackets is that whichever side you're working on, the way that the bottom here is bent, it'll always be bent pointing towards the front tire of the vehicle. So in this case, with this bracket mounted up to the truck, this is pointing towards the front tire. This would be the driver's side bracket. All right, and we also have our hardware. You have our finished washers, we have our nylock nuts, we have our flat washers, and we have our finished bolts as well. The tools that are required is going to be a 13mm wrench, a 13mm socket, an Allen wrench, which is going to be provided in the hardware kit, some safety glasses, and a little bit of elbow grease. Now let's get this thing going. Once you've removed the stock steps, starting on the driver's side, locate the 3 sets of mounting points that each bracket is going to mount up to. You will need 3 sets of M8 nylock nuts and M8 flat washers. Next, loosely bolt the bracket to the truck. Do not fully tighten until the very end. Make sure that the bracket you're using is bent towards the front tire. Next, move on to the middle center bracket. Keep in mind that these brackets are all identical from the front bracket to the middle bracket to the rear bracket. Grab 3 sets of M8 nylock nuts and M8 flat washers. Same as the front bracket, begin by loosely bolting the middle bracket to the underside of the truck. Always make sure that the bracket is pointing towards the front tire. Finally, grab the rear bracket and 3 sets of M8 nylock nuts and M8 flat washers. Loosely fit the bracket to the truck. Do not fully tighten until the very end, and make sure that the bracket is pointing towards the front tire. With all 3 mounting brackets bolted to the vehicle, grab your driver's side bar, and you can tell that it's the driver's side because the front is angled downwards. Take the bar over to the 3 brackets. Using the top lip of the bar, freely hang the bar on top of the brackets. This will allow you to go grab your hardware. Start by bolting the front bracket to the bar. You will need 2 sets of M8 nylock nuts, M8 by 35mm hex countersunk bolts, M8 flat washers, and M8 finish washers. Make sure that the bolt sits inside of the recessed washer. Begin by putting the first bolt through the front hole of the bar and through the front bracket. Using your flat washer and nut, loosely bolt on the back end. Moving on to the second hole location, underneath the bar, you'll also have to use a bolt and washer on the undercarriage of the bar in order to finish bolting the front bracket to the bar. Loose fit both of these bolts for now and proceed to the next bolts. For the next step, you're going to be bolting the middle bracket to the bar and to
to the front hoop step. You will need 3 sets of M8 nylock nuts, M8 countersunk bolts, M8 flat washers, and M8 finish washers. First, align your front hoop step to the middle bracket and bar, and place your first bolt through the hoop step, through the bar, and through the middle bracket. Loosely fasten both bolts to the step and to the bar. Next, you're going to bolt the front part of the hoop step to the bar. Please note that this section doesn't bolt to a bracket. Next, you'll be bolting the rear bracket to the bar and to the rear hoop step. Grab your rear hoop step and 3 sets of M8 nuts, M8 countersunk bolts, M8 flat washers, and M8 finish washers. Begin by bolting the rear hoop step through the bar and to the rear bracket. Then finish bolting the rear hoop step to the bar. Finally, on the bottom side of the bar, finish bolting the bar to the rear bracket. Once the steps are bolted to the bar, you can now go underneath and fully tighten the brackets to the truck. Begin with the front bracket, fully tightening and realigning as needed. Move on to the middle bracket, fully tighten this section to the truck. And finally, move on to the rear bracket and fully tighten all 3 nuts to the truck. Once the brackets have been fully tightened to the truck, now you need to fully tighten the steps to the brackets. Start with the very front bolt and fully tighten it. Then work your way down to the front hoop step bolts, then to the rear hoop step bolts. Make sure every bolt is fully tightened. Once everything has been fully tightened, double check there are no more loose nuts and bolts. Once all nuts and bolts are tight, your install is complete.
Now once you're finished installing the driver's side bar, you're going to repeat the same exact steps for the passenger side. Now please remember that there is a groove, a slight slope near the front point on the passenger side bar. That's how you distinguish which side goes where. And also when it comes to the brackets will be bent, pointed towards the front tire of the truck. Well, that completes today's install. Hopefully your install goes as smoothly for yourself as it did for me. And remember, the hoop steps are bolt-on and they can always be replaced down the road if you ever need to. If you haven't ordered your Alumilite series side steps yet, visit our website at www.icionline.com.